On last week's episode of Conspiracy Realists.
I found my way to a website called Truthism.com.
So they're saying that we're like batteries for the Anunnaki.
For humanity, the Anunnaki created dinosaurs.
Restart time.
But the 2006 version it's nuts on its own. And then it gets expanded upon later. So 2010, I scanned through it and just kind of pulled out the notable updates. But the first thing I noticed, so the 2006 version, it's written tonally more as an expose, more like, hey, I'm putting this out there because we're all being lied to, and it's got that like edgy tone, but it has the not even like expertise. It's just not. It's more like friendly advice. It's more like, hey, we're all being lied to, and I'm going to tell you the truth, and this is what's up. It's like that friend who sits you down and tells you you have a drinking problem.
Like he's helping.
Yeah. It feels more helpful, even when it's at full peak craziness. It's like, okay, no, but like I'm trying to do good for humanity.
Okay.
The first thing I noticed with the 2010 rewrite and subsequent versions was a dramatic shift in tone. So here's
How could it get more dramatic than Trenchcoat Guy?
this is the opening paragraph of the 2010 version.
The truth is the truth, and is not necessarily politically correct or socially acceptable. As a matter of fact, the truth is by no means politically correct or socially acceptable. So, if you came here looking for some conversation material or water cooler material, then you came to the wrong website. The truth is greater than man, so it will not bow down to your social needs, personal needs, or insecurities, and your feeble-minded reasoning does not and cannot negate that which actually exists.
That is how the 2010 version opens.
Jeez.
I mean, it still does this site is not conspiracy theory, but like the next thing you read is that, which immediately insults the reader's feeble-minded reasoning. None of that was in the 2006 version.
No, very angry.
Yeah, it's right, exactly. It's like way more hostile.
Very angsty, hostile, accusatory.
There's no comment section on this website, and as far as I could tell, there wasn't an email listed, so it's not like this person put out their theory and then got bullied by a bunch of trolls who were like in the comments.
No, yeah, he just life, whatever happened.
Yeah, something in those 4 years changed. He got dumped or rejected. Probably rejected. Let's not. Yeah, let's not even go as far as dumped.
He felt entitled to some girl that would never, ever in a million years date somebody as completely psychotic as him.
Right.
And then he feels like the world owes him
He's
something.
the guy who made that meme of the nice guy meme where the guy is just getting stabbed in the back for a girl.
He thought it was so deep.
He's that guy.
Where's my hug? He's where's my hug guy.
He is, 100%. So after that, the site just gets into... It gets into like long rants about how no one reading it has access to government documents, how everybody has an ego and that fuels most of their decisions. Morality is bunk and not real, and we are tormented by the ruling elite. I just pulled out a couple other quotes that just showed how much angrier this version was.
Okay.
The first is,
It's hard for people to wrap their thick heads around the simple fact that the group of beings who built the ancient Egyptian pyramids, Stonehenge, and other so-called ancient mysteries is the very same group of beings who control Earth right now. Moreover, the group of beings who created ultra-popular religions such as Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, and Buddhism is, once again, the very same group of beings who control the Earth right now. And the group of beings who invented civilization first in ancient Mesopotamia and then in ancient Egypt is, again, the very same group of beings who control the Earth right now. And yes, group, not groups. In fact, the Reptilians have indoctrinated you so thoroughly you are probably too weak-minded to even fathom that they exist. Do not compare the reptilians to some abstract, imaginary god. First of all, the reptilians are the very ones who invented those imaginary gods in the first place, and second of all, the reptilians are quite tangible. However, you simply don't have enough power to get access to them. So unless you are a member of some royal family or an elite secret society, don't start crying like a little baby about how you can't see them. Newsflash, every human being on Earth is not as weak as you.
Whoa.
So, I mean, it is like
Wow.
blatantly.
He's an angry elf.
Yeah. Call me elf one more time.
That was like someone hurt him.
Yeah, it's unhinged.
And probably for good reason. Probably for good reason. Yeah. But he's angry at the world. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, that's like...
Yeah, he's completely off the rails
unless it's
at
like
this point.
a tactic to like draw people in by insulting their intelligence. Could be part of it as well. Be like, you're thick skull, and the person be like, oh, I don't have a thick skull. I believe you.
Like he's negging us?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's one of those two extremes. It's either the dude's such a beta.
An incel.
Yeah, an incel. Or he's such a douchebag alpha that he's like, I'm going to bully these people into believing this shit.
It's kind of what it seems like he's doing.
Like, but it's such a sharp contrast. Like the 2006-2007 version is like, yeah, it's crazy. It's
but he's
weird.
like, he's more like, I'm going to open your mind to this shit. You didn't know this. And
it's like someone tried LSD for the first time.
Yeah. Now it's like someone's older brother that has a neckbeard and plays on the computer all day comes in and tries to fucking talk to you and your girlfriend. And you're like, what the dude?
That's fully what it is. It is, I'm going to film myself in my car talking about how women don't find me attractive right before I drive that car into a sorority house. I mean, that is like full on
unhinged
Roger.
Unhinged behavior.
Yeah, it's absolutely. Other additions to this, they mention you can see reptilians if you meditate, use hallucinogenic drugs.
Sure. Of course, you'll see lots of stuff if you use hallucinogenic drugs. Wow. Good one, guys.
Yeah, a friend of mine took mushrooms on his birthday and took 300 pictures of a watermelon because he thought it looked so cool.
300.
So yeah, I'm sure you can see reptilians with hallucinogenic drugs. The big thing they mentioned out of that was sleep paralysis.
Okay.
And then they noted that these are fourth-dimensional reptilians, not the three-dimensional ones.
The ones...
But more on that later.
Okay.
They then go on to say,
the year is 2010 AD, but we do not live in modern times yet. Since Earth is still set up in an archaic, knowledge-ignorance format where God Kings who hold the knowledge rule over the masses who bask in ignorance, we are literally, yes, literally, still living in ancient times. To give you some perspective on all this, an alien race that viewed humanity back in 3000 BC would see no significant difference from 2010 AD. Yeah, they would see that we had more technology now, but they would rather be amused at the fact that humanity still believed they were alone in the universe. The aliens would then quickly realize that in order for humanity to still have such a childish worldview, they were being controlled by some kind of overlord who had imposed a grossly manipulative and oppressive belief system upon them.
and then following that, they have more ancient alien proof, classic works of art, where UFOs are like the chariots of the gods. And then, weirdly, after the classic works of art, they have like 5 photographs of just a piece of sketch paper with some really rudimentary sci-fi art drawn on it. And I say, that sounds like I'm being condescending. The art is like fairly good, but it is just done with a pen on blank paper, and they don't have a date or an artist for it, so it could have just been anyone who drew.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like the day the Earth stood still fan art on a sketchbook, so it's not evidence for anything. It's other than someone being a pretty good artist.
Right.
That's the only thing it proves, is that someone can draw
They can draw stuff,
basic
for sure.
sci-fi art. Yeah. Which, like, hey, kudos to that person. Good for you,
Right.
but, like, that's not...
Evidence, or... You just drew a picture.
Let's say I was a really good sketch artist. I could look at a nude model and recreate them perfectly on charcoal and paper. But if I did a self-portrait and made my dick 3 times longer, that doesn't make it true. It's still tiny.
So, okay. So this is still part of the 2010 update?
Yeah, this is just part of the
So all that
updates.
changed was that he got a little angrier and gave a few more.
Well, after that art, they showed some ancient pottery and some Japanese woodblock paintings that showed things that look like flying saucers. But the things in the flying saucers don't look like reptilians. They are literally old Japanese men in kimonos throwing spears from the flying saucers. So, like, it's not...
Right.
Like, okay, sure, you can make the argument that the ancient Japanese saw UFOs and then exaggerated, sure. But if you're gonna say, here's proof that reptilians exist, and then just be like, look at these old Japanese men in kimonos.
Yeah.
No,
There's
I'm not buying that.
There's pretty much no thread there.
Yeah, there's nothing. They also used crop circles, the face of Mars and Area 51 as proof there, which was also not in the 2006 version. And then, this is kind of the part where it really deviates, is they started talking about other secret societies on Earth that they didn't touch originally. The big two being the Freemasons and the Illuminati. And they said that the organizations like that are run by humans who are looking to overcome the quote-unquote morality barrier, which basically means they're people who want to become so powerful they no longer need morals. And as evidence that the Freemasons were still in control by proxy, the Illuminati, they took the Freemasons logo and compared it to logos of modern corporations. And of those modern corporations, they included Sonic, the fast food chain.
Okay.
Some company called Advanced Concrete Systems, and the Associated General Contractors of America. They, of course, pointed to the eye on the $1 bill.
And these are supposedly what? Hints to the Freemasons? Illuminati shit?
Yeah, humans who were trying to break free of the Matrix, I guess. I read it. There is no connection between the Freemasons, the Illuminati, and the Anunnaki. It's not like the Anunnaki selected a group of humans and turned them into a secret society and then, like, had humans rule over humans. It's literally just, they're totally...
But they talk about all this on Truthism.
Yeah, it's all on the same... It's not even, like, links you click. It's all on the same page. You just scroll down and it goes through this stuff. I mean, there was no connection. They just wanted to include everything.
Right.
Got to get that search engine optimization.
Right.
And then after that, they get into the big idea they kind of brought up earlier, which is the fourth dimension and sleep paralysis.
Okay.
And so this is another direct quote that they said.
When your mind wakes up from sleep quicker than your physical body, and you feel someone pushing down on you or watching you, it is a reptilian. Or other kind of alien in the fourth dimension. If your mind wakes up quicker than your body, then your mind cannot exist in the third dimension because your third-dimensional human body is still asleep. Thus, your mind switches to the fourth dimension and is able to experience fourth-dimensional reality.
Interesting.
So I admittedly have never experienced sleep paralysis, and it is...
I have.
It's one of my biggest fears.
It was one of the scariest things that ever happened to me. You want to hear what mine was? It's gonna freak you out.
Oh, absolutely, I want to hear it. Yeah.
I was in my bed, and it felt like snakes were coiling up tightly around my legs, And then I was watching myself get picked up and carried out of the room by a man just completely dressed in black in a black coat. That...
Did he... Wait, did he have a hat?
I don't think so. It looked like he was in a hood,
Okay.
like a winter jacket. I know what you're referencing, though, because people have talked about that man in the hat thing, too.
I heard about that, and I was like, no.
No, I remember thinking it was my dad, but then it wasn't my dad.
Ooh, very weird.
Yeah, it was...
So you had, like, it was a sleep paralysis and out-of-body experience.
In a way, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what... Because I could not move, and I tried, and I couldn't.
Oh.
And I was just getting picked up by this... From what I remember, it was like imagine, like, a bigger guy in, like, a dusty, like, work snow jacket. You know what I mean? And, like, long black pants and, like, boots, like he was shoveling something outside. Yeah, and then
So when you eventually did wake up, like, fully, were you in your bed still, or were you...
I was in my bed, yeah.
Carried you to?
I was in my bed.
Okay.
And I was just, like, sweating, and, like, I was breathing so heavily, and I was so... There have been, like, few moments in my life where I was, like, scared, and, like, had to, like, just frozen in fear, didn't know what to do. And that was one of those moments. I remember just sitting there, like... Because it felt more real than... me being awake and it not being real.
Ugh.
But it only happened. That was one time. It only ever happened to me once.
Yeah.
I was like afraid. I was afraid to go back to bed, so it would happen again.
That's the biggest thing. Is like I think I would rather experience something actually paranormal. Like I'd rather just have a ghost be like, "Ooh, boo, I'm here," and I'd be like, "Ah, man,
yeah, I got to deal with this."
Yeah, I'm gonna have a priest come by, or I'm gonna I rent." So maybe I could just get out of the lease because it's haunted. Like,
yeah.
But that is less scary to me than, like, just being frozen and something in my mind doing what it's doing and then being like, if that happened, I don't think I'd be able to go back to bed. I'd be like, well, I'm up now.
Yeah. Forever, hopefully.
Oh, my God, yeah, that sounds terrifying. It's not something I ever want to... I had it wasn't a sleep paralysis experience, but I had a similar dream when I was a kid. It was it's the first nightmare I remember. But I was laying in my childhood bedroom, curled up in kind of in fetal position at the foot of my bed. And so from my perspective, I could see in the corner of the room was the door out of my room. And then let's say like a meter from that, like a yard, 3 feet away, to the left of it was my closet door. And so in the dream, I woke up in fetal position at the foot of the bed. Could see both doors. Saw the closet door open. And I got out of bed and approached the closet door. And I looked up into the darkness, and out of it stepped Man Ray, the character from SpongeBob.
Man Ray! I was thinking like, oh my god, it's gonna be something so creepy. It's fucking Man Ray.
It was Man Ray. It was Man Ray. He reached his arms out forward and started choking me. But then my perspective shifted, and it wasn't me being choked. It was Bubbles, the Powerpuff Girl.
Ooh, that's...
And I was watching her get murdered by Man Ray.
That's, all right. So, sleep paralysis is also, what, Anunnaki bullshit?
Yeah, a glimpse into the fourth dimension.
Oh, the fourth dimension. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
and
where some Anunnaki exist, but not all exist. Which they said they would get into later, and they actually never really get into it.
Well, sure. Of course they don't. But, all right, so what? Have we even got to 2012 yet in this fucking disaster?
We're about to.
Okay.
That's actually where we're at now.
And that's pretty much where it ends?
Yeah, the 2012 to 2015 update really, from what I could tell, didn't add anything significant.
Oh, okay.
The biggest change I noticed was arguably the thing that absolutely destroyed any credibility the website had. There's a section on the site, and the headline for it is just women. And it's not super long, but it says a lot. So I literally just copied and pasted the whole thing into my notes, and I'm just gonna read it because I couldn't sum it up in any way that did it due diligence.
Fair enough. Yeah, go for it.
Women are ultra-impressionable beings, and therefore are easily controlled by aliens and the elite. The main purpose of women on Earth, that is, what aliens have programmed them to do, is to enslave men via relationships. Women are obsessed with relationships and love due to alien programming and don't care about anything else in life. They would have men believe that being in a relationship is one of the most important things in existence, not realizing that men couldn't care less about being in a relationship, and rightly so. Furthermore, women force men to waste their precious time and resources on them. This demonic charade, i.e. relationships, has gone on for far too long and obviously has no end in sight. Thus, you can blame women for the downfall and utter hopelessness of humanity. Make no mistake, it is indeed tragic that a man cannot satisfy his sexual needs without also getting trapped in a relationship at the same time. Otherwise, he will be accused of rape, since non-relationship consensual sex does not exist on Earth.
Oh, come on.
Due to the aforementioned programming of women, demonic enslavement traps such as this are the standard modus operandi of the reptilians and darkness. Now, just imagine if you had to buy an entire pizza restaurant. Just order pizza.
Holy shit.
An evil absurdity indeed.
Whoa. Hold on.
Another thing that...
It still goes. It keeps going.
There's more.
I told myself I'd try to get through the whole thing without laughing, but here we are.
Oh, dude, it's so bad. Imagine.
Brother
if you
needs
had
to get
buy an
laid.
entire pizza shop just to order a pizza.
He compared having a relationship or loving a woman to owning a pizza shop.
He also said that men don't want relationships,
Yeah, we've been tricked.
but women force us into them.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
There's
Of course.
no holes can be
Naturally,
poked
yeah.
in that, for sure.
He's just preaching the truth.
All right, go on.
Another thing that makes women insufferable is the fact that they are essentially babies. That is, they possess the emotional maturity of a 4-year-old boy. Women cry, throw fits, and need men to take care of them. Adults shouldn't need other people to take care of them. All in all...
Wait, that sentence starts with
It's written. I'm reading verbatim.
Dude, that's not even like... That is so starkly different from every... I mean, even with the rest of it being fucking neckbeard, tip fedora, fucking milady, fucking edgelord, 3 edgy 5 me fucking bullshit. This is such a stark... I mean, that's not even a conspiracy. He's just bashing women.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, if it almost feels like someone hacked the original website and then
Yeah,
like,
and you know what else?
I can't
Besides
get laid.
The sun is a cube, and we're and Anunnakis are the ones that created us, and also women are fucking dicks, man. If it's all a simulation, why does any of that matter?
Right. Like,
It's just,
I feel like the end goal here shouldn't be to put women down.
it's just like if he went
It
on
should
a
be...
if he went on a tangent to like, you know, I fucking hate barbecue chips. Barbecue chips are so fucking bad. They don't taste good at all. They were designed to fucking control us. Like, you could put anything in there.
Right. It's like, okay, if this is... Let's just say I believed all of this. Let's say I believed, like, the Anunnaki ruled Earth and the darkness and all that stuff. My end goal wouldn't be to put women down further than they've already been. It would be to blow up the universe, because that's the only way we could break free.
Right. Or join
Like,
the Freemasons.
that would be my call to action here, would be like, take the red pill, blow up the universe, don't subscribe. I wouldn't be like, here's the last bit that I copied.
All in all, women promote the enslavement rather than the liberation of humanity. It's bad enough that aliens and the elite already control us. Now throw women into the equation, you have absolute misery. They are like sheepdogs, helping out a shepherd. Hence, the term bitch, in case you didn't know. And to think, women are actually proud of their controlling ways. What a disgrace.
It's not even written how the rest of it was written.
No, it's totally different. It's
the
totally
ramblings. I'm a lunatic, an incel, unhinged.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's a danger to himself and society.
And the thing is, like, there are sections of this website labeled proof, and most of them are
labeled what?
Proof.
Oh.
So, like, a lot of them are like, proof, : here's a picture of ancient hieroglyphs that depict reptilians. Proof. Here's Jupiter's inner sun. Proof. Here's a drawing of an alien sitting on a man's stomach, and that's sleep paralysis. Which, again, none of these are actual proof, but they kind of have, like, they cite a source.
Well,
right?
they're giving a question. They're giving a theory. This isn't a theory. It's just literally just bad. It's being butthurt.
Yeah, this section on women doesn't have, like, a section that says proof. Here's women's DNA versus men's DNA. It's literally just an angry rant about women.
Virgin incel rant.
Yeah, it's just mad. It's just mental. It's like it's so bad.
That's embarrassing.
And that's kind of the trend of, like, every like, the 2006 version is insane, but not, you wouldn't put someone in the psych ward for it.
Right.
And then every edit after that just becomes, like, more and more unhinged to the point where it's concerning. And they even changed the color of the text on the website. So now most of it's a neon blue on black. But then when you get down to, so the women part is the last blue part. And then it gets into a section called Humanity, Spiritual Immaturity. And from there on, all of the text is red.
Edgy.
So it's like,
edgy.
Oh, and then they get into another proof segment. And it's just this proof, an actual reptilian.
No. Human beings do not have dual eyelids. No, human beings do not have vertical slit pupils. And no, human beings cannot shapeshift.
And they post one video in real time and then 2 slow motion close-ups, which I can't view them now because they were rendered through Adobe Flash Player, which is no longer supported. But I do have the memory of watching them. And so, reciting from memory, the original clip in real time was just a news broadcast. If I'm remembering it right, the newscaster woman was blonde and had, like, a red suit on. And that was kind of it. And then the slow motion close-ups were close-ups of her blinking, where her left eye closed first.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I do. I've been on this website then back in the day.
I'm mad that I can't watch them now, but, like, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're. Yeah, no,
like,
I remember watching it. Yeah, her eye, it blinks in the reptile.
But it's clearly just a woman with, like, a weird tick.
Yeah, you know,
like, it's
and then
not.
They played it in slow motion.
I mean, they're essentially just bullying.
But she blinks weird reptile.
And that was the only evidence they offered. There was nothing else. It goes from proof, an actual reptilian, which I feel like she was, like, a local newswoman. She was like, so if you're gonna try and control the masses through the news media, maybe aim higher than, like, the local Dallas TV station.
Right, that this lady just happened to blink weird.
And then they they follow it up by writing,
Right now, I bet you're like, oh my god, they're real. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. What, did you actually think that humans were the only intelligent beings in the universe?
No.
They read it
No.
like,
That's
here's irrefutable proof.
that's
It's insane how aggressive and hostile this rewrite is.
no shit, Sherlock.
I can't. So the final bit I have, it was another one of those. I just had to copy it. It's like 5 paragraphs, but I'm just gonna read it. They titled this section. This is the end section of the last updated version of the website. It's called The Truth.
Sure.
Those who currently control us also created us. Can you not get that extremely simple concept through your thick skull?
Thick skull
Religion.
again.
It's like immediately, just right off the bat, attacking you. You fucking idiot. Can you
No.
get this through your thick skull?
Religion, with its gods, and science, with its theory of evolution, have poisoned your mind so much that you are now unable to see the obvious. Most importantly, doesn't it seem rather odd to you that in the 5,500 years of recorded history, there has never been an official school of thought that states the current ruling elite of Earth created humanity, or one that states aliens created humanity? Well, the reason why these two schools of thought have never come to fruition is because Earth's alien rulers would never dare allow such concepts, in other words, the truth, to be openly discussed in academia. Now, here's a very scary thought. Your ultimate benchmark for the truth, mass media information, is actually just trivial fluff that is widely disseminated in order to perpetuate Earth's civilization. Do you honestly think that the mass media would ever tell you about humanity's true origins? Of course aliens created humanity, but as long as civilization is in on mode, that simple fact will never, ever be common knowledge. Don't you get it? The very foundation of Earth's civilization is that humanity's true origins are not common knowledge. The day humanity's true origins become common knowledge is the day civilization will be shut down. Setups like the one here on Earth can only work under false pretenses. And by the way, UFOs are primarily used as disinformation, because it's not as if aliens are about to take over Earth. They actually already have, considering the fact they freaking created us. Just think of all the billions of people out there right now who have never even thought of the idea that aliens created humanity, and yet you consider me to be quote-unquote crazy and them to be quote-unquote normal. Well, I am not crazy, and they are not normal. They are actually just mind-controlled beings who have been programmed to perpetuate Earth's civilization. So when it comes to things like aliens, these people, as you can see, have blind spots in their thought processes. By design, the obvious truth, the creation of the human race by aliens, has never been reported on by the mass media, discussed in academia, or even thought of by billions of people. And to think you yourself are in support of this global cover-up. Oh wait, you're not in support of it? Checkmate, bitch.
Whoa.
That is the end.
The final line is checkmate, bitch.
It's checkmate, bitch.
Bro. That is an incel fucking manifesto. That's like a
And the site was active until 2019.
god.
I'm so curious. I want to know, like, what happened in 2019 that this person was like, I'm done paying for this website. And then the pandemic happened. And do you think they have regrets? Do you think they were like, shit, I should have kept it going?
I don't know. We'll never know.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to convince you it's true because I don't believe it, but
No, I mean
I don't think anyone should.
no, it's just like
get into like early conspiracy theories. Like I want to go back to like ancient Greece and Rome, but there's just isn't the abundance of information. Like history was history then, and whether or not what we have now is truly what happened back then, it's all we know because there was only so much written record of things.
Right.
And I feel like the earliest you can really go back where it starts to get kind of fuzzy is like the 1950s with the increase of mass media coverage of things. And really the only big thing then was the JFK assassination. So that's like kind of the earliest you can go and get different opinions on what the truth was. So an old conspiracy theory really now is the early 2000s. Like that's old in terms of this shit spreading. And it's funny how naive and fucking weird shit was until like in our lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the age on a lot of these ones that came out early 2000s.
Yeah, and it feels like, I mean, it wasn't that long.
No, but it feels like stepping in a time machine because it's like, man. Like,
yeah, that's all I got on this one.
No, I mean, that's all you got. That's
checkmate, bitch.
Checkmate, bitch. That we gotta end every podcast with checkmate, bitch, instead of love you, bye. We're getting edgier. We're changing from the 2006 Truthism to the 2012 or 10. We're getting a little bit edgier now for conspiracy realists.
We've rebranded,
and we're like Shadow the Hedgehogging this shit.
We're super fast, and we have a gun.
That's right. Checkmate, bitch. You need to make a really bad meme, like an on purpose bad, poorly made meme that's Shadow the Hedgehog, like a bad cropped Shadow the Hedgehog with some absurd filter, and then just having big letters, checkmate, bitch. Because that's the exact vibe that gives off.
Yeah. I can see it so clearly in my head. I can see the image exactly.
Man, that is... The ramblings of an incel never fails to be entertaining in the cringiest way.
I know. This was like... I wanted to start with this conspiracy theory, and then I started looking into it again, and I was like, I don't ever want to talk about this.
Yeah, it's a rough one to get through.
And then it reached a point where I was like, we should just get...
Well, yeah, that's fair. And that's... Well, that's kind of the apex of all of these weird early internet conspiracies that we've been talking about, like Lavender Town Syndrome and the Pine Barrens. This is kind of the apex of like that idea of that era.
It doesn't go much deeper than this one because it's so all-encompassing.
Right.
And stupid.
Right. And so biased. Like, sure, they would have the bias of what I'm saying is true, but the other biases that they're just throwing in there, unrelated to,
It's so crazy to me that, like, the 2006 version is so tame, and then 2010 hits, and it's so incel-y, and that seems to be...
Lots can happen in 4 years.
But that's also the point where incelishness, whatever you want to call it, hit its, like, peak. I feel like that early 2010s is
like that time in the internet, there was a lot. I mean, the 4chan shit.
Yeah, misogyny was huge in the early 2010s.
Right, because you had all these fucking people that spent their entire lives behind a screen and never went out and socialized or anything.
Right, and all of a sudden they're horny teenagers.
They were so angry and horny towards women and didn't know how to do it, but it was like their weird, toxic safe haven to get these thoughts out and agree with each other in a giant echo chamber.
Yeah, I'm so glad I wasn't into internet forums at 14.
No, I never, like, talked or posted. I mean, I watched videos and I looked at shit and I found, shit like Lavender Town Syndrome and creepypastas and stuff like Truthism. But I wasn't, like, participating. I was watching. It just seemed like yeah, duh, why would I talk to people? And, like, it just seemed like not smart thing to do.
Right. And it's like, man, if I had, my life could be totally different. But I kept that little sliver of humanity by not engaging with stupid online
And I
shit.
mean, every guy growing up that wasn't like the most popular dude around or best looking has their incel moments in middle school and high school.
Oh yeah, for
We
sure.
all-
I used to think Mr. Brightside was my special song. I thought that was I thought that song was for me.
I had a My Chemical Romance shirt of every album. I had a shirt for every album that they had.
That's only like 4 shirts though. That's not that much. They didn't have that many.
Well,
albums.
yeah, I guess,
But still, yeah, no, I get the point. I get the idea. You latch onto those things. So, fellas, if you're out there, if you're listening, if your unrequited love is not being requited, just give it like a decade.
And remember, women are only trying to manipulate you because they're obsessed with relationships and they want to control you and have power over you, and they're love-hungry succubi that work for blizzards.
Right, and men don't even want relationships.
No,
so if
don't
you
want 'em.
think you want a relationship, if that's like your end goal, shut the up because you're wrong.
You're wrong. Thick-headed.
That's not.
You're thick-headed.
That's not what you want.
Thick-headed idiot.
Yeah, you're a weak-minded fool.
A weak-minded fool.
Checkmate,
bitch.
bitch.
All right, well that's truthism for you guys. So
That'll
sorry we
do
had
it.
to red pill you so fucking hard tonight.
But, you know, we honestly we were gonna start with this one, but we thought let's make the people comfortable first. Let's ease them into it. But you, this is the real world now.
That's right.
And we've rebranded and yourselves.
If your tiny brain can't handle it, then
Follow us on Instagram at The Conspiracy Realists. Follow us on Twitter at RealistPod. Oh, and can't believe we didn't even talk about this. Bathwater is still on sale. The plugs are also on
plugs,
sale.
the 3 different types of backwater, the hybrid of Austin and I, the single of Austin and I, the butt plugs of each one of our faces, and also the bath plugs. No more poopy diapers.
Diapers are done.
We learned
They're
our
done.
lesson.
They're over.
We'll shut up about it. Poopy diapers are done. They're not coming back. So if you liked them, too bad. You should have bought more because
That being
we
said,
cannot
do
sustain
check
it.
eBay for those. Someone, not saying who, don't know who, but they
Right,
are.
there's
out
some old
there,
ones in circulation.
for a pretty substantial discount. But we're not selling it, but they are pretty cheap, so you should buy them.
We made it a whole episode without talking about the Jersey Devil.
Oh my god!
I just want you to play the song right here. Just play it for a little bit
For the
me.
fans, and for Nick, here it is: the Jersey Devil theme, also known as Tarantella no something.
Hey, it's me. I'm the fucking Jersey Devil. Yo, I go down the street, right? I say, you talking to me? And I look at this guy. He throws a pizza pie in my face. He says, my mother never kissed me. You believe that? He said, my mother never kissed me on the cheek, on the mouth, on the head, on the nose. I said, my mother kissed me. My mother loved me very much. But your mother loved me more. And she sucked my fucking cock.
And that was the Jersey Devil
That's an excerpt
from his new book, Mama
Mama
Leads,
Leads.
colon, his tell-all
tell-all book.
Mama leads, then Mama leaves.
Pine Barren on the inside.
So that was the deep dive into truthism.
All right,
that's
that's the
pod.
pod.
Thanks for listening.